Hello, let's jump right into today's project. I have seen a couple of creators using these really cute birthday boxes to create farmhouse decor. Well, today I am going to create some really nice glamorous decor. Starting off, I have simply removed the handle away from the box, and now I'm going to use some of this beautiful silver sparkly vinyl from the Crafter Square section of the Dollar Tree. What I'm doing is simply measuring how much I need to go around this entire box. Once I have it measured out, I cut away the excess. Once I have my measurement where I need it, I'm going to go ahead and start peeling away the backing from this vinyl partially. Removing the backing from this vinyl partially will ensure that I'm able to attach my vinyl to my box without it getting stuck everywhere, thus reducing the frustration. So as I am laying this vinyl onto my box, I'm simply going ahead and just removing as many wrinkles and air bubbles as I can. And one thing that I must say about this vinyl that I did enjoy working with it is that it is very forgiving, especially on this particular box. Now, as I bring the last side around to the back, I just simply pull it just a little taut, just to make sure that everything is nice and stuck down in the head. So now I'm going to bring in my little scraper, my crafting scraper, and I'm just going to go ahead and remove as many wrinkles and air bubbles as possible. While you are doing this step, please be careful. You don't want to tear a hole into your vinyl. It's good vinyl, but it's very thin vinyl. So once all the air bubbles and the wrinkles are removed, I'm now going to start laying down these ends or edges. So for the bottom of the box, I'm just simply going to go ahead and fold in these edges just like I would a gift that I would be wrapping. Now the parts of the vinyl that do not have any adhesive exposed, I'm simply going to take a couple of drops of hot glue and just use that to go ahead and lay the bottom down. And again, I'm using my scraping tool to go ahead and make sure everything's nice and flat. So for the top portion, what I'm doing is cutting a slit in the vinyl where the corners meet, as you can see. And then once I have cut that slit, I'm actually going to go ahead and cut a little diagonal, making the two ends go inward. The reason that I do this is because this is going to make it easier for me to fold my edges in to make everything look more neat and more professional, so to speak. So now once all four of those sides have been slit and have been cut in diagonally, I simply fold them in and take my scraper and make sure that this is nice and adhered to the inside of the box. Now, if you wanted to paint the inside of your box, feel free to do so. I do highly recommend and humbly suggest that you do so if you're planning to gift this to someone. So now I'm just going around doing my final scrape down, making sure that everything is nice and smooth. So now it's time to decorate. I am going to use this metallic party streamer. Who would ever think to use a party streamer to decorate something especially to make it look glam? Well, I'm taking a piece of this metallic garland and I'm just simply going to run a band of this down the middle of my box. And I'm not placing the hot glue all the way around it, only in little specific areas, especially when I get around the corners, because I don't want the hot glue to actually melt this streamer. You guys, look at how this streamer has such a nice texture to it, but it also has a nice resilient shine as well. So as you see, I'll go around the corners with my fingers, making sure the corners are nice and defined. Now I'm going to go ahead and bring in some of this diamond wrap, the traditional diamond wrap. I did pick this up from the Dollar Tree, and I do have quite an extensive stash of bling wraps, or diamond wrap, excuse me. So now to adhere this, I am going to go ahead and put a bead of glue right where the box and the streamer meet each other, and then lay the trim on top of it. And I'm going to do this on either side. The reason I did that was to go ahead and conceal the streamer from coming up, but also to make sure that, everything looked nice and neat. So as you see, I've taken some of this really cute flower mesh wrap that I did purchase from Amazon, cut it down into single strands, and I attached this to either side of my traditional diamond wrap. So now to embellish the middle portion, I was just trying a couple of different things. I tried a smaller gem or decoration, then I also had to try a larger brooch. And you should know which one I already went with. Of course, I went with the larger brooch. I feel like the larger brooch just really truly made a nice statement. So with the brooch, all I did was simply remove the back from it with some wire cutters. I took a little bit of my hot glue and I just attached this to the front of my box, and box number 1 is complete. I think these boxes really came out super nice to be Dollar Tree boxes and Dollar Tree vinyl. So now for box number 2, I have this metallic mirrored, almost like a material that I picked up from Hobby Lobby some time ago. What I'm doing is I'm going to go ahead and cut this down into 4 equal pieces because I am going to form a border on the front face of my box. Now, when it comes to this, you can make your border as thin or as wide as you choose. If you cannot find a material like this, you could also use some of those large serving platters from the Dollar Tree, or you could use some of the mirrored material that you can find on Amazon. I've seen other YouTube creators use those before. So now to get these mitered corners, what I have found easiest for me is to take the 2 ends, one going horizontal, one going vertical. Take the 2 ends of them where it will form a square, mark off my square, and then make a dot from one corner, the outer corner, to the inner corner, cut it, and that is how that will give me my mitered corners or edges. So I have mitered all 4 of my corners and everything is cut down, and now I'm going to show you exactly how I can attach these to my box. One thing that I really liked about working with this particular material is that the marks that I made with my Sharpie, they just went right away when I used it with window cleaner. And yes, I'm so glad I can use window cleaner or glass cleaner with this material. And whenever you are doing mitered corners, always remember to take your time and always go back and second, third, fourth check behind yourself just to make sure that everything is where it's supposed to be, everything is fitting how it's supposed to be. As you see, again, I'm just taking my time, making sure that everything is going to fit exactly where it's supposed to. There's not a worse feeling when you're crafting than to begin to put something together and then it turns out wonky because you didn't take the time to, do the extra checking. So now all 4 of my sides have been mitered. Now it's time to go ahead and begin to attach these. To attach these, I am going to use a combination of hot glue, very little hot glue, and also the Dollar Tree's Fix All adhesive. I found that with the Fix All adhesive, it gives me a great secure hold, but it does not have a reaction to where it is causing any wrinkles or any bumps or bubbles. Because I also tried the Fabri-Tac glue and it did not work at all. It made this material bubble up and it caused a lot of wrinkles. I didn't care for that. And also caused a bit of discoloration. So the Fix All adhesive and the hot glue combination works out very, very good for this. And as far as using the hot glue with this, I only use it on the corners just to make sure that everything is nice and secure while the fixed all adhesive is drying. So you guys, I missed some footage. Well, there's no guess. I thought the camera was recording while I was making the stand or the bottom part that goes on the bottom of these boxes, and it was not recording. So when we get to that portion, I want to explain to you how it was made. So without further ado, here is how everything came together. You cannot tell me that these boxes are not gorgeous. Again, for the bottom portion of these boxes, all I did was took some of the Tumbling Tower game pieces from Dollar Tree. I took 3 pieces and lined them up horizontally with the short ends together, glued those together, made 4 sets of those, glued 2 of them on top of each other. Then I made 3 sets of the 2 blocks, glued those together, and I formed a box, covered it in ribbon, covered it in the metallic streamer, and then I covered it with a layer of my diamond wrap. And that's how I made the bottom piece. So I just went ahead and filled the inside of these with some beautiful greens and some red berries for the holidays. I absolutely love how these turned out. If you have enjoyed today's project, please let me know down in the comments section. That let me know that you are enjoying